Well, crises are getting bigger. There's more of them. They're more complex. We're seeing a breakdown of national authorities and systems, a proliferation also of non-state groups. That makes it a lot more difficult to respond and to deal with the repercussions of the crises. But there's also an interplay that's happening. It's not just conflict, but it's conflict that's layered with climate, that's layered with economic shocks, that also comes together to encourage migration, which also can create additional crises and shocks. So this layering makes it really more complex to deal with. So they're becoming more complicated, more complex, and they're also just becoming so many that it's very difficult to scale up to respond to them. Well, I mean, from a humanitarian side, it's not enough for us just to be meeting the needs. We can grow, and we have been growing to meet those needs, but we're just not able to keep pace, and certainly resources are not keeping pace with those growing needs. So we do need more resources to address the needs that are out there, so that we don't need to cut rations and reduce support for vulnerable populations. But it's not enough to meet the needs. Alongside that, we need to work to reduce the needs, invest in resilience, invest in livelihoods, invest in people's ability to grow the food that they need, to work and earn jobs and a meaningful livelihood, and to feed themselves and their own families. Everybody wants to be able to be independent and feed their own families. And then we need to look at how we can support and strengthen national systems so that they can lift the floor upon which humanitarian assistance needs to come in. Strong, inclusive, efficient national safety nets and social protection systems are absolutely critical for meeting the needs of people. Well, the World Food Program plays an important part as part of the global humanitarian system, and we also have friends who we can support and work with to really bring in development support and development financing into these fragile contexts. And recently we've seen a much greater presence and engagement by the international financial institutes in fragile countries and fragile contexts, and that's absolutely key for supporting governments and supporting WFP, UNICEF, UNHCR, other actors who are present, UN and non-governmental organizations in that space. So that's really important. But at the same time, it's not through humanitarian action that we can solve conflict and build peace. We can provide some solutions at the local level that can help identify local solutions, amplify them, help reduce some of the tensions that come when people are competing for resources in resource-scarce environments. But ultimately, peace is political, and we need political actors to be coming together and bringing new tools to the table to help resolve these conflicts that are really causing so much suffering around the world.